Jesus Freak here. I've brought up a couple times that if I had the means, I'd start publishing my own Bibles, mostly be King James, but possibly offering, ASV and probably a couple others for various other reasons. But the focus would be on King James. Now, one might say, why would you want to start a King James publishing ministry when you've got local church Bible publishers, Bearing Precious Seed, Milford, and Trinitarian Bible Society. And I'll admit, they do a bang up job. And from what I can tell, it's really not much that I'd call problematic with Trinitarian. The others could be more problematic. And church Bible publishers in particular makes me twitch because of their mutual endorsement of Gail Riplinger, as well as they published the Common Man's Reference Bible, which I've said elsewhere is a complete abortion. But as someone who doesn't have the kind of dog in the fight that these ministries do, if I had the money, I'd like to be able to produce, be able to offer these, inexpensive King James Bibles at cost. And I mean inexpensive, not heebie-cheepy. Because, if I wanted heebie-cheepy, I could get them from the dollar store. But I don't want that. I want decent ones. But I want to be able to, offer them at cost or very minimal markup. And also to be able to, do a similar kind of need a Bible, send one kind of thing, what the Mormons do. As well as perhaps being able to get them to certain, other ministries. There are other things about these ministries that could be problematic that I've brought up in comments. For example, the possibility that church Bible publishers is pirating Moody Bible Institute's Bible maps. I'm probably a little bit more familiar with copyright issues than a lot of my audience, although it's still only on a somewhat casual level. But it's not something I want to deal with if I can help it. And this is one of the reasons that I placed my own translation of the New Testament into the public domain. But what I'd like to be able to do, I'd like to be able to produce, hardbacks, inexpensive. I'd leave the leather-bound stuff for your, TBS, R.L. Allen, etc., and I'd focus on the low end, where getting the Bible is more important than the gut. The guts are more important than the cover, because they are. I don't really see the point in some, paying $150 just for the cover and then $50 for the guts. I mean, not that I haven't done it. I mean, but I feel it's, lacking with a lot of these ministries. They seem to want to focus on the high end. TBS, I thank them for focusing on the low end. They offer paperbacks that are built just as well as the fancier Bibles. They offer nice hardbacks. Honestly, I see a hole in the market, so to speak, for simple, of this type. Large print Pew Bible. Just, bare bones hardback. And this isn't the stuff you see the, Church Bible Publishers focuses on the semi-premium and premium tiers. And I'm like, well, what about the bottom end? And I'm like, I've always liked what the Gideons do, and I'm like, why not just, do some Bible distribution of that sort too? Get it out there by any means necessary. And I find the hardbacks and bonded leather types are the more important part of the market, I think, than your iron calf skins and your French Moroccos and your goat skin and, Nigerian Highland goat skins and all that jazz. What's all that matter? It's the hardbacks and bonded leathers that normal people are going to buy. And it's those that are more useful in getting out the word, I think. And if I had the money, I'd be starting up a Bible publisher. That's a part of the market that I would aim most of my focus at. I will say one thing about Holman, that as much as I'm not a fan of them publishing CSB, I wish stick to just the King James. They do have respect for the King James, and they're not like, Thomas Nelson is owned by a worldly publisher. Holman is not. They're actually owned by the Southern Baptist Convention. So props to them. And I must say, I do have support for them. And if I'm getting Bibles, Holman's usually the first company I look at, outside of obviously cheaper ones. So that's where I stand. Jesus freak out.